non-binary pals? I've got a fun video today, one that I'm actually really excited to talk about. So this video was sent to me, and it has I'm excited to talk about it because it's like one a very interesting topic, and two, it's a creator that doesn't have many subscribers, it doesn't have many views, so it's always fun kind of showing someone that is a little bit of a quote unquote smaller creator. So this is by the content creator Alana Melissa, and the name of the video that we're going to be talking about today is Why I Hate Being the Fat Friend. And your boy, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that. So let's see what Alana has to say
Hi guys,
about being the fat friend. I had it on 2x speed because, we got to be quick.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another controversial topic, and this one is near and dear to me because it affects me personally. We're going to be talking about being the fat friend and the effects that it has on your mental health. So
first thing I want to say, this is going to be interesting, and two, I think obviously I'm not a woman, but what I'm going to be doing is relating this to being the fat friend as a guy, right? Because I obviously can't know exactly what it's like for her, so I'm going to be relating it to how it affected me as well.
If this is your first time watching me, hello. My name is Alana Melissa. I post makeup and lifestyle videos here on YouTube. Definitely subscribe. Also subscribe to my Instagram. I will leave that here. And yeah, let's get into this video. So being the fat friend is one of the most nerve-wracking things ever. So if you've never seen a video from me before and you have no idea who I am, let's get a couple things out the way, right? I am on a weight loss journey. I have been since November, and it's been pretty consistent. It's been pretty good. I'm down about 12 to 13 pounds right now. Yay. Please pray for me and pray that I, keep going. But
we got you.
In this weight loss journey, it's really revealed a lot of things to me, and a lot of negative emotions have stirred up from me having very tough conversations with myself. And one of the things is the anxiety that I get from being the fat friend. So I don't know if a lot of other people feel this way, but most of my friends are smaller than I am. For some reason, I have many friends that are like size 4s and size 6s. And if you didn't know, I wear a 16. At the moment, it's a 14-16, but it's a 16 nonetheless, okay?
So I can relate to this. Is when I was bigger, I was the only big person in my friend group. So it was like everyone else was quote unquote like a normal weight, and I was the only person that was bigger. The best part about being the only fat friend was that I got shotgun every single time. It wasn't even a question. That was the best part.
Okay. And being the fat friend, in my mind, like, I'm sorry to say this, in my mind, is like one of the worst things ever, because it just brings up so many problems. And I'm going to talk about it in this video because this is what I do to myself. I psychoanalyze myself, and then I post videos for your viewing pleasure, and they're very uncomfortable to make, but here we are. The first problem that I have being like the fat friend is photographs. I'm sure a lot of other big girls can, attest to this, but photographs, oh, they bring on the anxiety, especially when you're the only fat friend. Oh, okay. So listen. It is very hard. It's finding the angles, finding like the outfit that will minimize your fat the most, like especially if like
one of my patented things that I would do if there was ever pictures, I would try and get people in front of me. So I would always try to get people in front of me, or I would always offer to take the photo. I would always offer to take the picture. If I was able to do that, then I was able to get out of it. But if I wasn't able to take the photo, I would try and get people in front of me. Like that was what I would do. That was my move that I would always make.
one of my friends is like, yo, we're having an outing. Like, there will be pictures. Put on your cute outfit. We're going out like to the club or something. My God. Oh, it's nerve-wracking. And you don't want to say no, because then you're going to be like a shit friend, right? You're going to be a friend that no one can go out with, no one can hang out with. And that's just not fun.
That was me. I would say no all the time. I was like, nah, the club? The what? Nah, I'm good. Well, granted, I started losing weight when I was 20, so like I wasn't going out to the club really, but like I would always just say, I still do that though, but that's because that's a completely different thing.
So you go, right? You spend hours searching on like Boohoo and ASOS for like the dress that is going to make you look as small as possible. You even hop over to Fashion Nova and you buy yourself some shapewear. You rush order them. They come to your house in like 3 days, right? You're like, perfect. It's Thursday. We're going out on Saturday. I ordered this on Monday. Great. I have some time. And if something falls apart, I can drive to the mall really quick. No. Being the fat friend for some reason includes multiple wardrobe malfunctions when you're in your house by yourself, or when you're like getting ready with your girlfriends. For some reason,
Yeah, I mean this is relatable because it's like everything feels like it always feels like there's extra steps, right? When you like for me, when it was like trying to find clothes, it wasn't just I go to the store and I find clothes. It was like I go to the store and really hope they have my size. Most likely they won't. And so I have to go to a different store. I have to go to a special section of the store. It's like everything feels like it takes time. Like if it's like I remember I would like there would be like weddings or like things that I was supposed to go to, and there's like a dress code, right? You have to get this type of shirt, this type of pants. And for everyone else, they could just go anywhere they wanted and buy that type of shirt, those types of pants. And for me, I was like, dude, I don't know anyone that makes a size 56-inch whatever type of pant you're trying. Like, it would be so stressful. When I worked at the Vans shoe store, you had to wear Vans clothing and Vans shoes. They didn't make Vans clothing up to my size. I wore a size 5XL. The largest size they had in store was a 2XL. So then I had to just wear a plain t-shirt. Like, it was like everything has an extra step that can be very, very annoying.
Nothing feels right. And it's a psychological thing for sure, but nothing feels right, nothing looks right, because your friend can wear an actual potato sack and she will be the one that gets most of the attention in the club, and you will just be there. You will just be the camera girl. You'll be the girl holding the camera. You'll be the girl holding the drinks. You'll be the fucking designated driver. I didn't choose this life. Well, maybe I did choose this life after a series of negative eating habits and lack of exercise, but here we are. So that's the first problem, right? Is the photos, the outings. The second problem is shopping. Now, skinny ladies, we love you, right? You cannot just spring a shopping trip on us. You cannot just say, let's go to the mall. You and I.
Yeah, I can relate to this. Obviously, I didn't have like me and my friends when I was growing up. Like we just didn't have much money, so like we didn't go like shopping wasn't a thing that we did, because we just were like, we could go to the mall and hang out, but none of us are gonna buy anything. But I remember, like, it was frustrating because whenever I would go into stores, like, I just literally wouldn't even look. I was just like, I'm not gonna look at this store, because like, especially if you go to like the trendy stores in the mall, I'm not even gonna bring up the names because I'm just gonna date myself. But you know, the trendy stores in the mall, not the Macy's, but like the other ones, you're just like, I know they're not gonna carry my size. I just know it, so I'm not even gonna force myself to look. So that was why I've always really loved shoes, and I still do. And I know one of the main reasons that I'm a shoe guy is because it was one of the things that I could like, that I could fit my feet into, that I could actually wear, that everyone else could wear. Like, shoes were my thing, and they still are to a certain extent. Like, I still like shoes. And because I could actually get shoes, like I could get the cool shoes that everyone else had, and they might not have been very comfortable, but I could wear them. When it came to shirts and pants and everything else, there was a good chance they weren't making my size. So I can relate to a certain extent here.
We shop in different stores, honey. Either I'm going to be bored out my mind or you're going to be bored out my mind. But either way, there are not many stores that we can go into that we're going to have the same experience or we're going to be able to buy from the same store, right? Like, and like, listen, if it's Forever 21, my fucking God, Forever 21. I made a video about this a long time ago. I will link it if I can find it. The plus size experience for Forever 21 is very different from the straight size experience in Forever 21. So, you know, and I've done this before. I'm speaking from lived experience. I will be in one dark corner of the store while my friend will be running around free range, just filling up her basket with all this stuff. And they're like, what do you get? I got a shirt. Okay, I got this shirt that says Mondays on it. All right, it's not even in a color that I would like. This is the experience of being the fat friend.
I'm sorry. She said it says Mondays on it. Why is that how it always is for plus size shirts? Why do they always have to write stupid stuff on them?
Let's talk about issue number 3. And issue number 3 is something that I have been really coaching myself on, and I have been sort of calling myself out and being like, you know, you're wrong for this. But issue number 3, and let me know if you can relate to this, is the feeling of jealousy or the feeling of anger when a smaller friend expresses a desire to lose weight to you. Like, I know there are other big girls that have gone through this where a smaller friend, you might be on the phone with her, you guys might be shopping together, she's in the fitting room and she's like, I really want to lose like 10 pounds. And you're just there like, bitch, I want to get down to your weight and you want to be a smaller weight? Like, I had a friend that was losing her mind.
This is such a good point. And like, it's interesting because I mean, we all know the saying, right? Like, comparison is a thief of joy. Like, comparing yourself is pointless, yada, yada, yada. But, dude, as human beings, it's so hard not to just compare yourself to other people. Like, it's so hard not to do that. And so I remember, dude, when I was close to 400 pounds, and I know that some people can relate to this because I've talked about this before. When I was close to 400 pounds, I would look around and hope I could find someone that was bigger than me to make myself feel better. Like, that's just, I remember I would do that. And then when I would hear people that in my head, like, I remember my brother, right? He was like, he got kind of chunky, but in my head I was like, dude, you're not that big. And so when he was like talking about wanting to lose weight, I just remember thinking like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, I need to lose weight. You don't need to lose weight. And because again, we're human beings. We're focused on ourselves, right? So it's a very normal thing to do, to just compare yourself to other people, whether it's people that are bigger than you or people that are smaller than you. Like, that's a very normal thing.
Because she was approaching a size 10. And in my mind, a size 10 is my goal size because I've been a 16 for a long time now. So to me, a size 10 is like a dream, you know, like I'm 5'7". I feel like a size 10 is like a large. I think, is that a size large? Fine by me, right? Like, I've been like a 1X, 2X for forever now. And
it's interesting hearing her say this, because so I actually I have watched this video before we're streaming it, and it's funny because I remember thinking similarly when I was losing weight. I remember thinking to myself when I was losing weight, I remember thinking, if I just get down to 250 pounds, I'll be happy. And this is when I was, 360, right? If I just get down to 250, I'll be happy. And you just never know. Like, so I'm not saying that she won't be happy if she gets to that weight, but like, you never know. So you might get there and be like, oh, I want to do more. And again, if you do that, there's nothing wrong with you doing that, right? But it's a very normal thing to be like, if I get down to this weight, I'll be happy. And you get there and you're like, maybe not.
It took me a long time, and I had to actually reach out and apologize to that friend because I gave her grief when she wanted to stop approaching a size 10. I gave her grief for that when I should have been like, listen, I understand, like, weight loss is hard, like, why don't we try something together? Maybe I could lose a couple pounds myself. I should have been that friend, but instead I existed in this jealous space. She's
obviously very self-aware, which is good. I think that what you just explained, that's really hard to do, man. Like, that's not easy. That's not easy to do. To be like, yo, I'm sorry that I let my feelings get in the way of me being a good friend, or whatever, you want to say. That's not easy to do. That's very tough.
Where I was like, you don't need to lose anything. And that was just misery wanting company, like that was me not coming to terms with the fact that I had a lot of work to do and trying to get someone closer to me instead of me get closer to them. And, realizing that for that friend, a size 10 was their big girl version. When that friend was a size 4 for most of her life, yes, a 10 is a big girl version for her.
It's all relative, right? It's all relative.
You, as the bigger friend, you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with the fact that just because someone is smaller than you, it doesn't mean that they can't want to lose weight, or they can't want to be a different body size. So far, this video has been very uncomfortable, and I feel like I've been exposing myself, but this is the reality of being the bigger friend, and it is, unfortunately, it is a lot of anxiety.
I remember, I can so relate to this, and I remember I'm obviously someone that deals with like anxiety, and I've always really struggled. So one of my biggest things, this is since I was young, and I know that this goes back to like some serious trauma that I had as a child, and we've talked about it a little bit, but like I have always, and still even to this day, always been terrified of feeling like a burden. Like, so terrified. And so when I was bigger, I couldn't help but a lot of times feel like a burden. And I would do everything I could to not feel that way. I would just try so hard not to be a burden. But then sometimes, man, it just would explode. Like, I've had nights where I was with friends. I've told this story before, so I'm not going to go into it. I was with friends at a party, and I just blew up. I didn't yell at anyone or anything, but I literally had a panic attack, had to go on a walk, was like crying because I felt like I was such a burden. And like, it's terrible. And that, I want to make it clear, losing weight doesn't make that go away, okay? Losing weight isn't going to solve that type of stuff that you're dealing with. I'm going to say it again, all right? We're going to go into the other camera. Losing weight is not going to solve that stuff. It's not. Like, I think it's really, really important, because so many people think that losing weight is going to be a magic bullet. It's not. It can help a lot of stuff, 100%. I'm not going to dismiss that, but it's not going to solve all these little things you might be going through. You have to work on yourself as well. You have to work on the mental stuff and the physical stuff. You could do it at the same time, I believe, 100%. But like, understand that just fixing the physical isn't going to fix the mental. And just fixing the mental isn't going to fix the physical, because that's been a trend I've seen a lot. Like, oh, I'm focusing on my mental health before I work on my physical health. I'm like, you can do it at the same time. I really do believe that.
Without a doubt. And let's get on to topic number 4. Topic number 4 is something that I really despise. It is I don't know how to say it, but it is the denial of your smaller friends that you are the big friend. Weird to say, but if I express to a friend that I'm fat, don't tell me, oh, you're not fat, you're thick. Like, bitch, I have a mirror.
I'm sorry, dude. I didn't catch that the first time I watched it. Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. I will say, your boy didn't even bring this up, because my friends would be like, if I were to say that, they would be like, well, yeah. Like, they weren't going to like lie to me. They were just like, so I didn't bring up. I was like, I'm not going to talk about being the fat friend. I already know I am. We're going to leave that alone. Oh, man.
I have many mirrors in my house, many full-length mirrors on my dresser, mirror in my bathroom. I have mirrors, like, I can see the fat. if you are a skinny girl watching this and you have friends that are bigger than you and they say they are fat, please don't try to soothe their egos. A lot of us know what fat is, and we know that we are that. And that's okay. You know, if like nowadays, because I still have friends that are bigger than me.
So someone in the chat just said, okay, but what do you say when someone says that? Like, yeah, you are fat. It's, dude, I honestly don't know what the best answer is there. It's not a position I would want to be put. Like if someone were to say to me like I'm fat and like I'm like, crap. Like, do I lie or do I? Because like a lot of times like I feel like when people say that stuff, like they're hoping someone kind of soothes, maybe even in like a way that they're not even thinking of it. But whew, man. Yeah, it's tough.
When they tell me, oh, I'm so fat, I'm like, what are you going to do about it? At that point, you either figure out what you're going to do or you figure out how you're going to cope, how you're going to live with it.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's a pretty good answer, I guess. Like, what are you going to do about it, right? If someone's coming to you saying like I'm so fat, blah blah blah, you should be like, well, what's the plan then? What are we gonna do? Do you not want to be fat? Do you not care being fat? What's the answer to that? Okay, we find out the answer. You don't want to be fat? Well, let's make a plan, right? Let's work on that.
That's it. That is really it. But yeah, hearing from my smaller friends, like, you're not fat, you're thick, it drives me up the wall very much. It very much does. Don't do that. Don't fix your lips to tell your fat friend that they're not fat. And I actually feel like it's kind of being a bad friend. Like, I don't hide from my friends at all. I don't hide what I think of them. And I would hate if they hid what they thought of me from myself. Because I feel like the point of a friendship is to grow with each other and to hold each other accountable. So, like, my closest friends have told me, like, yo, you're big. You need to lose weight. But it's always the friends, in my experience, that I'm not super close with or that there's like a disconnect. They're the ones that will soothe my ego. And maybe that's why I keep them at a distance, because I don't like that energy around me. Like, don't.
I think that it just depends, like she said, it depends on how close you are with the person. Like if you're not super close with them, they might not feel super like comfortable maybe being honest about that, because for a lot of people, and she might not feel this way, but for a lot of people, when you talk about being fat, people see that as a negative, right? And so people want to be like, oh, no. But if you're really close, like if my best friend Nolan said something about himself and I disagreed or I agreed, I'd be honest with him, like, no, you're wrong or you're right or whatever. But like, if it was someone that I'm kind of close with but not super, I wouldn't feel comfortable being like, what are you talking about? Like, that's just not the type of person that I am. So I think it really does depend on how close you are with the person and what the relationship is like with that person.
Don't spare me the emotion. I've already gone through my own emotional hoops inside of my house. Like, this is like when I was at work and they were like, oh my God, are you going to cry? I'm like, no, I'm going to cry in the car. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to fix whatever's wrong. All right, I cry on my way home on the highway. I'm like a normal person. But that's just how I feel. Like, don't soothe your friend's ego, especially when it doesn't need to be soothed. Like, we need to get away from the idea that being fat is, is this emotional downfall. Like, yes, it comes with negative things in your life. Like all the things I explained in this video, it comes with negative things in your life, but it's not a life sentence. This is why I made the video about...
Dude, that's so good right there. So good. It's not a life sentence. Facts. Woo.
Not wanting to identify as a plus size blogger, because it's not a life sentence for me. I don't plan on being plus size forever. Like, I actually plan on getting the fuck rid of this weight because it is impeding my daily life.
Dude, I love this so much. And I mean, you guys know I've talked about this so many times about like your whole brand becoming fat person, right? Plus size blogger, plus size this, plus size that. I love it. Like 100% I agree. And I think that is the way to go. Don't make everything about yourself based on one thing, right? Your weight. Like, oh man, I can only think truly of negatives to come from that. Like that, I can only think of negatives that come from making your whole brand be based on you being a plus size man, woman, creator. Like, only think about negative things. And I'm not trying to say it's like being that is negative, but I'm just saying if you ever make any change, people then will say you're not being the brand. You're not. Oh man, this is so good.
And when something is getting in the way of your daily life, you either fix it or you learn to deal with it. That's it. So yeah, this was a tough conversation, but I think that's all the points that I have about the ins and outs of being the fat friend and why it's such a weird space to be in. Oh my god, No, I did not get all the points. Beaches. Oh, being at the beach with your skinny friends. It is ridiculous. It is fucking ridiculous. Especially if you have dates, right? And like, if you have a boyfriend and you're fat and your friends have boyfriends and they're fat, there is the never-ending feeling that your boyfriend is jealous of your friends' boyfriends.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I said it. That thought has been on my mind forever. But I just never had the courage to say it out loud. But there is that never-ending thought in the back of your mind. Like, does he feel some type of way because like he can't pick me up how that kid can pick up his girlfriend? Like, yikes. I'm gonna end this video before I cry again.
I mean, as a dude, it's very similar, right? Because, you know, at the beach, you're supposed to take your shirt off, and when you're big, it's just not something that you want to do. But, I mean, all in all, I thought this was a fantastic video. Highly recommend everyone go check her out. Again, Alana Melissa will have it linked. I thought this was fantastic, especially, like, hearing so many things of just, like, coming from someone that has just dealt with it, right? I thought this was a fantastic video, and I think that there's some really, really good points here.